go to him before me because, you know, it's great to have that student input, and I think that's something that we all need to occasionally be reminded, though I know to a person on this board that we all care very deeply about making sure our district is serving all of our children to the best of our abilities. So I just kind of wanted to say that because I think that, you know, we live in a sometimes divisive world, and we immediately look to see, I disagree with you there, or, you know, I take issue with you there. It's always just interesting to me, this issue as it's talked about in the community. It starts from where we're different, and occasionally sometimes we get to where we agree, and I just hope that you all realize that in the end, we all up here, and I know you all out there, care very deeply about the children in our district, which is why you're here this morning. Well, I said approximately 12:15, so I'll be brief. I'm not going to really make political statements, though well, not a lot. I want to make I first do want to echo the appreciation to the administration for coming up with a proposal. I know you guys put a lot of hard work in it. After all, it's your job, but good job. You know, it was a very robust debate and discussion. And I want to thank literally everyone who has come in our previous meetings to share their thoughts on the program, asks their questions about where we're going, what we're doing, because I wish I had the foresight to really know how I am feeling about this issue and how it's evolved in my mind. But really, you all out there have helped shaped, you know, my thinking on this throughout, and it's evolving, as I think it should, not only for me and probably is the case for my colleagues, but you all deserve a lot of credit for your engagement, and I know we all up here appreciate it. I do want to say that, you know, I hear some talk about, you know, oh, your board's not getting along. Oh, it must be tough up there. And I kind of laugh at that because I think sometimes people read the paper or the Vanguard, and you know, they assume that there's some agenda or you know, strife or, you know, differences of opinion up here. And I got to tell you, this is a great board, and it's a true honor for me to serve with my colleagues up here, because I do believe at the end of the day we all care about one thing, and that's making this district the best it possibly can be. So I love the spirited debate, and I know that we're going to have a lot more in the future on it. So I will just sort of close down that, and really I want to spend a couple of seconds here on my actual input on this, because we mostly talked about our, you know, vision and where we, you know, our ideals, but I haven't heard a lot of, hey, on this page, line blah, blah, blah says this or that, and I think this. So what I would say is, yeah, I mean, look, I was trying to explain this the other day to someone who doesn't even live in this state, that upcoming school board meeting. And what are you talking about? Well, we're talking about our AIM program, or GATE, you might know it as GATE. And what's your GATE program like? Well, we currently have to identify children, and we do that. We administer a test, and the score is 96, and, you know, that determines whether or not you're in, and we use a particular test, and, you know, and so, well, what's the proposal? Well, we're talking about going to 98, and well, are you changing the tests? No, the proposal is the same test, and so I guess my point is, yeah, I get it. I mean, there's change that may result ultimately from our actions, but you know, it's not earth-shattering totally 180 degrees. We're still going to do what we do here. And what we do here is really serve not only the most unique and gifted and talented and high-achieving students, but you know, we endeavor to serve everyone, and that's what really the gist of this is all about. Having said that, you know, like I said before, when the state moves in a direction, sometimes they phase things in, and the purpose of doing that is to collect data. You know, we always pick and pull from what we want. Sometimes people will say, well, that's not data driven. I need to see the stats, the statistics, and the reports on that. But then on the flip side, on another issue, well, you didn't get parent involvement on that. You didn't get you didn't take a survey of the child to see if they liked it. Yeah, I see your numbers there, but did we really? The point is, we're trying to do everything we possibly can to come up with measures, or with mechanisms to identify children for the types of program we have. I asked earlier in the year when we had Professor White and Professor Carroll, is there a test that predicts your likelihood of success for a particular type of program? Comparison, when you go to law school, you take the LSAT. Why? Because that is a predictor, they say, of your success in law school. It doesn't mean you're going to be a great lawyer. It says this test is structured to identify how successful you will be with the law school curriculum. There is no analogous test for the type of program that we have, and that's what the literature says, that's what our experts have said. So what we're left with at the end of the day is trying to come up and use multiple measures, which is why multiple measures are the best way to really identify which children should be served at any given point. So I guess giving my feedback is I'm encouraged by the proposal. I prefer a little bit more time than the October 15th. I think something like this, to my mind, needs to sit a little longer. I want to do my outreach. I think that there is more outreach that should be done with teachers, and Mr. Kelleher was here, our AIM teachers, but all of our teachers. So I have a particular preference to wait a little while. I'm very concerned about the impact of third graders now. I would really want the administration, and I would love to hear from my colleagues about what about a phased-in approach that, maybe we go to 97 in this year, and we collect, we implement in this year, our professional development, and then we also perfect and get data back on, are we doing differentiation? How well we're doing it? What's it look like? Those success measures that Trustee Levenberg talked about. And then, is it appropriate for us to move it to 98 in the following year? So I don't think there's anything wrong with making changes, certainly, but doing so in a thoughtful, deliberative way while we're constantly monitoring the progress we're making. And it should be sort of an ongoing thing, because the truth is, it's it's a community-driven thing. It's a program that is there's no format template that you can take to a district and say, you do this and everything will work out just perfect for your community. And so I'd like to hear where others are on terms of timing, and just talk through just for a bit what they might need to see when it comes back.